Hello, beautiful souls. I am so glad you are here today. Today's tarot and oracle reading is a message about the energies surrounding August 2020. I am doing things a little bit differently this month. Usually I do the full Zodiac readings in addition to the pick a card. The pick a card did go up on Monday, but instead of doing the zodiacs this month, we are going to do the elements. So today's video is the air element zodiac signs. So that is Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. This could be your sun sign, your moon sign, or your ascendant, your rising. Or if you just have it anywhere in your chart and you feel drawn to this, then kudos to you. Watch this video, enjoy it. I am also just using two decks. I'm using my Animal Totem Tarot as well as my Enchanted Map Oracle. I found recently I've been using a lot of decks, a lot of cards, and while I have been getting a lot of messages, I feel like I haven't used each card to its fullest potential in terms of the messages that could come through just because there's so much. So this month I'm scaling it back and getting as many messages from these two decks, from the cards that come out, as possible. Okay, so let's get started. Again, this is messages surrounding the energies for August 2020, and this is for air signs. So again, air signs are Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Thank you. So we have the Four of Cups and the Queen of Wands. First message that came through with this Four of Cups is just keep what you find value, or keep, wow, that sentence did not work out well. Things that you find to be valuable, whether they are monetarily valuable, whether they're sentimentally valuable, whether it's just something that you really appreciate. You know, it could be a piece of driftwood that you found washed up on a beach, or a seashell, you know, something like that, which doesn't really seem to hold much value to someone other than you. If you have things in your life that are special to you, that really evoke feelings of love and compassion, positivity, joy, just keep those out, keep them on display. You know, he's got this octopus here, has this Four Cups. He's found them and he's keeping them safe in this box, and he knows exactly where they are. He can see them. He can take joy in them. He can take pride in them. They're not hidden away somewhere. They're not stashed in the back of a closet, collecting dust, not being used, not being enjoyed. He's enjoying them. He's seeing the value in them every single day. Okay, so if you have those little knickknacks, those little things, even pictures perhaps, that bring you joy, make room in your life for them so that you can enjoy having them. Okay, with the Queen of Wands, I feel like this may also be something that is important to your family, whether it was something that was your parents or your grandparents or some part of your culture ancestrally. You know, I just thought of the lion's pride and the, you know, the tight family bonds of the lions and how they work together and, you know, share the commitment, share everything. So yeah, I thought it may be something to do with family as well. Something that reminds you of family, something that was from a member of your family. Yeah, something that raises you up. Here we have this bighorn sheep up on top of the mountain overlooking the world. It kind of reminds me of, you know, the Lion King, when, oh, what is, I haven't seen that movie in probably over a decade. You know, when the father lion takes the baby Simba up and says, "This, everything here is yours," you know, and then it's about taking pride in the lands that are yours. So take pride in what you have. Take pride in your belongings. Take care of your belongings. Be able to see the bigger picture of what you have and how it fits into your life. Also take pride in yourself. You know, something I just thought of looking at this bighorn sheep is that while the environment that this bighorn sheep lives in plays a role in how the bighorn sheep have evolved over millennia, that environment doesn't define the sheep, nor does the sheep really define the environment. You know, there's lots of other animals, creatures that live in this environment, but they all have been, they've all grown and changed over time to exist in that environment to the best capabilities, right? So it's like, make sure that what you are keeping in your environment is allowing you to make the most of your environment. Make sure that whatever you're keeping in your environment is allowing you to be the best version of yourself. So if you're feeling overwhelmed by the amount of stuff that you have, if you're feeling stress from your physical environment, like, take note of what you have and why you have it. I'm not saying everyone needs to all of a sudden become a minimalist or anything like that, but maybe it's time to take a look at what you are bringing into your environment. And again, this doesn't even have to be physical. Here, you know, there is a physical representation of what we're bringing into our environment, but this could also be talking about people. This could be, you know, who are you associating with? Who are you distancing yourself from? Who do you need to distance yourself from? We've got a very wide open space here, and you are able to observe and be in control of your environment from this elevated, this higher perspective. It's almost like, you know, putting yourself up on this pedestal. It's not being narcissistic. It's not it's not necessarily coming from a place of ego. Instead, you're putting yourself up here from a place of love. You know, the sheep can see its predators. It can see where its food is. It can see more than if it was hiding in a bush down further below, right? And it's come up there. It's worked hard to get to the top because it cherishes itself, it cherishes its life, and wants to have this broader perspective on life. It's not doing it to be like, I'm the king of the mountain, look at me, I'm all the way up here. No, it's up there to be able to see and make the best decisions possible. This could also be about setting boundaries for yourself. Talking about self-love and, you know, putting boundaries in terms of what you will and will not accept into your life. There's a YouTuber that I watch who I've actually been absolutely loving recently. Her name is Shelley Bullard, and she talks about fierce self-love and setting strict boundaries about what you will and you will not accept into your life. You know, if you are, say, manifesting a person into your life and they are not giving you the energy that you want, then stop giving them energy, because, you know, I only want people in my life who are going to treat me a certain way. And I only want people in my life who are going to meet these boundaries. And setting those boundaries for yourself is not, it's not a negative thing. It's a positive thing, because you know yourself, you love yourself, and you're creating a reality that is best optimized for you. So again, this could be physical things, creating a reality and an environment that you feel most comfortable and most safe in, but also on emotional and social levels as well, creating boundaries. Three of Swords, yeah. Three of Swords is about heartache. So it's about taking care of yourself, to not get into this, not, I mean, we all go through hard times. It's a part of the human experience. But when we have these boundaries in place, when we have this self-love in place, when we know that we are worth it and that everything that we need is within us, then the outside world, it almost doesn't seem as scary. Okay, let's get a little bit more about this Three of Swords. I feel like this Three of Swords is what happens when you neglect this kind of energy, when you ignore it, when you ignore your essence almost. Six of Cups, Nine of Cups, and the Star. It's a lot of emotional energy. Receiving and giving. Putting yourself up on a pedestal here for transformation. The Star is your dreams. But the card that came out face up was this Ace of Pentacles. And we have a dung beetle here. Very tiny little creature, very underestimated creature. And it's almost like when you underestimate your own value, when you underestimate your own worth, this is the kind of vibe that you exist in. When you underestimate what you are capable of and what you are deserving of, then you may find that you are in this cycle of heartache, of jealousy, of judgment. It's like you need to set these boundaries that I am worthy of this kind of energy. I am beautiful. I am loved. I am and you're just worthy of accepting this kind of energy into my life. Feel how it feels to be in this energy where you have the physical things that you need. This energy where you are a confident, strong individual. This energy where you kind of can see the bigger picture and see your manifestations coming towards you, and you can see life, right? Beyond heartache, beyond the hard work. Emotions and work, this is a part of the human experience. But we don't have to define ourselves by this. We can define ourselves here. Sometimes part of the human experience is negative emotions. Sometimes part of the experience is loss, heartache. But how do you move forward from that? How do you grow? How do you regain this kind of energy after heartache, after loss? It's hard work, but if you've also been putting in the hard work all along the way to feel yourself in this energy and to trust yourself as this kind of an individual, then you know that this is a temporary emotion because you are worthy. Another thing is that, a dung beetle is quite underestimated in terms of its impact on the environment. you think about it, a dung beetle, like that sounds so negative. It sounds, you know, shitty. But they clean up their environment, and by doing their little tiny part, and I mean like little tiny part, they make such an impact on their environment. Cleaning up the dung of, say, a big animal like an elephant, you know, it's not the job of one individual. It's the job of a whole bunch, and you don't even really see it going on. It's happening at a very small level. Sometimes those little small things are so important. And I feel like for you guys this month, those little small things might be catching yourself in negative emotion, catching yourself when you're here, and reminding yourself of this. You know, so if you're feeling stuck in a negative thing, how can you see a positive in that situation? Or how can you exist in the end of where you want to go after this situation? How can you use this heartache to fuel growth, to fuel enlightenment, to fuel self-love, to, you know, just to grow as an individual and as a person? Don't underestimate the tiny little things, you know. And it's not about negating this. You know, if you feel sad, accept that you feel sad. Like, that's okay. It's an emotion. Feel it, but don't let it be your only story. If, say, you've lost someone, mourn, grieve, feel sad, feel anger, feel whatever the emotions are that you need to feel, but also don't forget what kind of beautiful person that person was. Don't forget the beautiful memories, the joy, the fullness that they allowed you to feel. This is about creating kind of like a 360, all-encompassing kind of perspective on life. And I really do feel like it comes down to knowing your worth. This lioness, this Queen of Wands. You're not defined by the things you have. You're not defined by your environment. You are you, and you need to be proud of who you are, because this is just a reflection of who you are. Your reality is a reflection of your inner world. What brings you joy about yourself? This card did not want to go in. Talisman. I'm going to put that there because this could be in relation to whatever this is. This could be, like I was talking about ancestors earlier and family members. Perhaps you have a talisman that reminds you of your grandmother, and in your eyes, your grandmother was a very strong, independent, powerful woman. Or perhaps she was a sign of joy, love, compassion, nourishing, maternal energy for you. Perhaps you know, however you would define, perhaps you have something that reminds you of that energy. Might be something you want to take with you along your journey. Or there might be something that you own that you find very valuable, very special, very beautiful, that you want to associate that energy with, so that when you are feeling down, you can hold that item, or you can embrace the energy around that item. Perhaps it's even a picture that reminds you, a vision board. something you can take with you along your way. She's on this journey, and if you can see, she's kind of stepping off to the path because there's something in her way, right? I feel like this Three of Swords is that thing that's in her way. But she knows she can just step off to the side, she can go around it, and she can keep going. It's just a little bump in the road. And we have coming to life. And look at this, look at the imagery on this card. She's just floating up, like shooting up, evolving. There's a butterfly, so we're talking transformation. She's glowing. She's just beyond this world, beyond description. She almost looks like she's got like bat wings on her shirt, and just powerful. Perhaps she's holding this talisman and just trusting herself, trusting her capabilities. She's up on her own pedestal. It's not even a physical pedestal. It's just, this is where she is. She is up above herself. She's connecting with that higher self and still being connected to the earthly realm. It's almost like you are in control of your reality, no matter how big or small. We have this tiny little dung beetle. We have this giant elephant. We have representation of earth and of land. So it's like no matter where you find yourself, whether in the sea, on the land, high up in the sky, whether you feel tiny or big, it's your path to go down. And how do you choose to see your reality? How is your perspective on the events that happen to you, the events that happen for you? How is your perspective on life going to change the way you act or respond? How is your external reality going to affect your internal reality? Our internal reality is what brings our perspective. Two people can experience the exact same thing and have a completely different opinion about what happened because of their internal reality, because of their perspective on the world. And when you can own that power, and you own that your perspective on events and your perspective on situations is within your control, then you're taking your power back. So that is your reading if you are an air sign, so Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, for the month of August 2020. I hope you enjoyed this style of reading. If you did like the element-based reading, please let me know down in the comments or give this video a thumbs up. Love, light, and happiness to all of you. Have a fantastic day. Bye.